For this lecture, we'll have the volumes of revolution as another application of integration. For volumes of revolution, what are the objectives? To find the volume of a solid of revolution using the disk method, using the washer method, and using the shell method. So there are three methods in here. And then, of course, we will need to compare what the differences between these methods are. And of course, find the volume of a solid with known cross sections. Let's go to the first one, the disk method. When a region in the plane is revolved about a line, the resulting solid is a solid of revolution. So for example, this case, you have an axis of revolution. You have a plane figure, the rectangular area. If I ask you to rotate the rectangular area about the axis of revolution, you'll have something like this, the one at the bottom, right? So that is what you call a disk. And then the disk, if I redraw that horizontally, it would be something like this. That one is what you call the height or the width. In our case, let's just say height or width. This one is the radius. Of course, this is your axis of revolution here. So if I ask you, what's the formula for the volume? It's pi r squared width, or in our case, pi r squared height. This is what I commonly use, just like what I have written. We have to take note that in here for the disk method, the element is always perpendicular to the axis of revolution all the time. It's perpendicular, and that the element is always touching the axis of revolution. So look at this one, the blue figure. This is the area in consideration. And then in order to approximate the volume formed by this, we use a rectangular element as a representative. Now, the rectangular element has a radius, r, and a thickness. In this case, it's delta x or dx. As you make delta x very small, it becomes a dx. So, if you revolve everything about the axis of revolution, you will form this. However, when you notice, since we are trying to approximate, we use several solid figures like the yellowish one or the yellow one. You will form this. And you know that this is not an exact representation of the blue thing. Yes, because we are approximating. However, as delta x becomes closer and closer or smaller and smaller, as delta x approaches 0, it gives us the integral. So if you ask what would be the shape of this one, the shape would be, of course, like a funnel, right? Something like this would be the shape formed, and then that's the back. So this one, it just shows us that the delta V or the small volumes in here, basically pi r squared delta x. If we make the delta smaller, it can be written as an integration, can be approximated by this formula. So for example, in this case, if I were to rotate this or revolve this about the x-axis, you will notice that it forms something like this, sort of like a bowl opening to the left. Whereas in this case, if you rotate that about the y-axis, it forms like a bowl, solid bowl, opening downwards. And when you notice, guys, look at this. If the element is vertical, what's the thickness? The thickness is delta x, because the thickness is along the x-axis. And then the height is y up minus y down. If the element is horizontal, the thickness is delta y, or dy, and then the radius is right minus left. So let's just try this. Find the volume of the solid formed by revolving the region bounded by the graph y is equal to the square root of sine x and the x-axis. Note that x is from 0 up to pi. So revolve it about the x-axis. So ito. So you will form like football, something like this, like an ellipsoid. So how would you approximate the volume for this? First, let's just try drawing it. Say this is the line that we are revolving it about. And then let's look at the yellow portion. Let's say this one. If I was to revolve this, it would have a certain thickness, right? That one. So this one, the thickness is dx. And then this one, the radius would be r. That thickness, guys, is basically the h. So what's the working formula? Volume is pi from a to b of r squared dh. So in our case, what is the value for r? R is a vertical. So that means y up, y down. The y up, it's y equals the square root of sine of x. Y down, it touches the y-axis. So y equals 0. Your dh is equal to dx. And then the integral from x1 up to x2. Integral from the left to right, that yellow element, the vertical element, will be touching this portion up to this portion. So that is 0, 0 up until pi 0. So x1 is 0, x2 is pi, right? Okay. So from the representative rectangle in the upper graph, you can see that Rx is basically a function of x. So as I have said earlier, volume is equal to pi integral of r squared dh from a to b. It's basically pi from 0 to pi of r squared. What's the r squared? We have square root of sine x minus 0 squared dx. That's why in here, they just didn't write the minus 0 anymore. But then you know that y up minus y down square root of sine x minus 0. And then you square that, you'll end up having this. So the answer is 2 pi cubic units. Okay, so let's try this, guys. Find the volume generated by revolving about the x-axis, the area bounded by the lines y equals 2x plus 1, y equals 0, x equals 1, and x equals 2. So I'll just use a white pen first. So let's just say this is 1, this is 2, this is 1, this is 2. When x equals 0, y equals 1. When y equals so when x equals 1, y equals 3. So let's just say it's that one. And then what else? So that line is y equals 2x plus 1. When I say y equals 0, I'll just make them orange. Y equals 0 is the x-axis. Okay. X equals 1 and x equals 2. So I'll just say x equals 1, x equals 2. So it's this portion. It's not drawn to scale. Okay. Now let's draw the representative element. It did not say anything, but we know that for method of disks, we need an element that is perpendicular to the axis of revolution. Where's our axis of revolution? It says revolved about the x-axis. So we draw the symbol for revolution in here. So if it's the axis of revolution, we might as well draw the vertical element because the element has to be perpendicular to the axis of revolution. So this is your representative element. Now, it might be good if you know how to, or if you can imagine how it would look like if it's rotated. So let's just try this. If it's rotated about the x-axis, let's draw your element. The element, the blue element, when I rotate this, oh, okay. So it's a disk. Why is it a disk? Note, it's a disk. Why is it a disk? Because element is perpendicular to the axis of revolution, and then element is attached to axis all the time. What does this mean? This means that there's no hole. Okay, I'll explain this to you later on. So if you were to draw or you want to imagine how it looks like, can you imagine this, guys? Like that one, when you rotate that, it forms sort of like a bowl, like, of like flat tops, the chocolate, or part of a cone. I'll erase this. I'll redraw. Like part of a cone. Can you imagine? There's a question. How is the element perpendicular? Look at the element. The element, the blue line, is perpendicular to the x-axis, right? So since it's perpendicular to the axis, it is a disk. And the element is attached without any holes. It's a disk. Now, what's the formula for the disks? Volume is the integral. Let's bring out the pi so we don't need to carry it over later on. Pi, the integral from a to b of r squared dh. Now it's up to us to know what the r is, and then what the dh is, and then what the limits are, a and b. So let's label back. This thing here, from the outermost point up to the axis of revolution, that is my radius. Now this thickness is my dh. It so happened that my dh is actually a dx. So now that I know that, I would write here dx first. Now look at your radius. Is your radius a vertical radius or a horizontal radius, guys? Diba, it's vertical. So if it's vertical, it's up minus down. Okay, I'll write y up minus y down. What's the upper portion of y? Y equals 2x plus 1. What is the bottommost portion of the element? All the time, it's y equals 0. Therefore, the r would be 2x plus 1 minus 0. Y up minus y down. And then, what are the limits? Look at the look at the variable of integration. It's in terms of x. That means the blue portion would be traveling from left to right, from x equals 1 up to x equals 2. Therefore, the working equation that I have is pi from 1 to 2 of 2x plus 1 minus 0 squared dx. There was a question if x-axis is always the axis of revolution. No. In this case, revolving about the x-axis is given in the instructions. It can be revolved about any axis or any line. Okay? So I hope this is clear how we set this up. So let's try solving. Let's copy. Volume is pi integral of from 1 to 2 of, let's remove the 0. So that's 2x plus 1 squared dx. So in this case, if u 2x plus 1 n is equal to 2, du is 2 dx. So I need to multiply this by 2. I need a 1/2 in front. So let's solve this one by basic integration. This becomes 2x plus 1 cubed over 3 coming from 1 up to 2. So let's move out the 3. This is pi over 6. 2 times 2, 4 plus 1 is 5 cubed minus 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1, 3 cubed. So this is pi over 6, 125 minus 27. This is 98 pi over 6, or divide both by 3 by 2. This is 49 over 3 pi cubic units. This would be the volume of revolution.